My name is Ashley Brandt, mystery/fantasy author, and today we are here to talk about my upcoming release, Die by Design, which is a mystery duo that is scheduled to release in May of this year. This is Latte, my partner in crime. She is also my writing buddy and decided that she was going to make a little appearance here in our video today. Die by Design is a small town mystery. It has a little bit of paranormal elements in it, if that is your thing. The reason I wrote this book wasn't just for entertainment value, although I think that is generally what we gravitate towards too as readers. We want an opportunity to check out of our current worlds and kind of lose ourselves in a good story and something that's colorful and allows us to assume the skin of our characters. So that being said, we want to have good multi-dimensional characters. We want to have a good plot to follow. But more than anything, we want something that's going to make us feel good. And I think this is definitely that story. And top of the entertainment piece, though, it also kind of gives you an opportunity to confront some very real things that you encounter in day-to-day life and sort of process those things in a safe space with a little bit of levity and comfortability. And I'm talking about things like loss, death, friendship, interpersonal relationships, things that are normally heavy, but they're presented in this story as very soft and kind of integrated in a way that is comfortable and entertaining. And I think that something like that, a book with those qualities, is always needed. It's always relevant. It's always applicable. I think you're going to enjoy it, and I think it's something that you can apply to your life right now today. I think that as humans, we have a basic fundamental understanding of each other in terms of good and bad and the conscious decisions that take place for us to commit bad deeds or good ones. This book in particular kind of takes a deep dive into that as far as addressing who we are as people and how we get there. So from the inception of our alleged killer in our story, his name is Barry, we kind of take a deep dive into what created him, because we're not born as monsters. Monsters are created. And so I think that was something that I really wanted to examine in this book. Good and evil is typically painted as a very black and white issue. And ultimately, we're all a culmination of our experiences and how we adapted to live through those experiences. So that is something that I wanted to kind of explore in this story and kind of work into the material. And I think that it's something that people tend to get wrong just because we either lack a basic understanding or we lack perspective. And this is something that I feel like I know I learned a great deal about it with my research process and also just writing it. And hopefully will kind of shed some light on some things for my readers too. I will tell you right off the bat, I am not good with goodbyes. I do not like goodbyes. And that was something that was very difficult for me to write about in this book. So for those of you who haven't yet read it, at the end of the first book, there is a moment where two of the characters are having to say goodbye. One of them is Thurston Vaughn, the ghostly sidekick. If you've read the book, you know he is larger than life. He is colorful. He is very much a pivotal character in this story. And he's saying goodbye to his best friend, Denali. Basically, he has fulfilled his obligation here on Earth, and he is transitioning from his ghostly presence to the afterlife. And it is a very poignant scene, and it's difficult for readers to read because they become very attached to Vaughn. He is definitely, like I said, a pivotal character in the book. So how do you do that in such a way that provides readers with closure and an overall sense of peace without taking away from the story? I decided to write it very much like I would handling a real world scenario. I offset it with a little humor. I create levity from the situation, right? So, the saying is you laugh so you don't cry. And that's basically what I did in the story. Was I kept it relatively short and sweet. I said what needed to be said. I addressed the things that needed to be addressed. And then I added a little jokey joke here and there just to kind of keep things light enough and digestible enough that it didn't really detract from the overall conclusion of the book. But definitely goodbyes in any story, real world or not, always a difficult topic for me. I think it's a difficult topic for a lot of us, and that's why I had to kind of take a careful approach in writing it in this duo. If you have read the story, I am excited to tell you, don't get sad just yet, because it's very possible that our favorite character, Vaughn, may actually make another appearance in the second book, which is included in the duet. Yes, I come across surprising information all the time. Um, I am I'm a little bit of a nerd, and I love psychology and behavioral engineering and all that kind of information. I love understanding people, and it serves me well in my line of work. I'm a paramedic and as well as a writer, so I find that having a basic knowledge of uh, human behavior and psychology really helps me to take better care of my patients, um, and helps me to conduct myself better under stressful circumstances. I also found that it serves me really well in character development for my books, because I'm patterning these characters off of real human interactions and real world applicable scenarios. This one in particular, I was researching sort of the criminology aspect, which was a new one for me, and I found it very interesting. I think many of us know that we are the culmination of our experiences from the beginning of life into the current, and we log all of those experiences and we adapt in order to ensure our survival and cope with whatever it is that's going on around us. And that was something that I was able to sort of research heavily and apply to my characters in my book. So just the level of depth and uniqueness and just the breadth of human psychology is very, very fascinating to me. And I came across a lot of very surprising information, things that I did not know, and was able to kind of integrate into Die by Design. Anybody who enjoys just diving into a mystery that has likable characters that are a little on the quirky side. I love writing about characters that are maybe a little underrepresented in our literature today. A lot of books that we have, I call them beauty queen books. It's always, the successful, attractive, wealthy, we kind of have this perfect character in mind that often gets represented in these books. But what about the ones that were not prom queen or that aren't super wealthy? And I really like to write stories about them and kind of depict them and their adventures, because I feel like as a reader, because I am a reader as well, I tend to identify with those people more than the real estate moguls or the CEOs or the beauty queen. So I want to read about them. I want to hear their stories and see how they handle what life throws at them. And so I think anyone who enjoys underrepresented voices or people who maybe aren't at the top of the popularity list, if you enjoy small town, if you enjoy paranormal, if you love animals, or if you just like a good mystery, or if you want a book that is more than just entertainment value, that it actually examines real world issues, but it does it in a safe way that's not going to stress you out or lend to your already heavy mental load, this is the book for you.